What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers, and KB followers as well? Welcome back after a 3 week hiatus to the Young Guns podcast. For those of you wondering where we were, well, things just happened. Like I called
Life,
KB earlier today. Yeah,
life.
and I was telling him like the first week we missed, I just needed to adjust to my new work schedule and my new job. The second week was I think around Thanksgiving slash both my birthday and KB's birthday time. And then last week, unfortunately, as you guys know, was right around the time where Pest passed away, and it was in the wake of that. So rest in peace to Pest.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
I don't want to get too much into that, but it was kind of just one thing after the other, and so 3 weeks went by. Shout out to Daniel Barry, Yuvraj, Lewin, and Duran in here. And I see Lewin asking, "Where were you during the win streak?" I also mentioned that to KB. We were gone for 3 weeks. What was the Giants' record during that time span?
Dude, it's crazy. You know what's crazy? I haven't uploaded in 3 weeks too, so I'm like, yo, I gotta get back on it, bro. It's
I
just
hope you know that we're losing now, KB. I hope you
right,
know that.
right. When things
We're
go
doing
back
the
to normal,
stream. You're
bro,
uploading.
we're doing the stream, we're uploading, yeah.
We're
So
we're losing the next
it's New
game,
Orleans.
yo.
I guess we're gonna go against Jameis Winston. Is Jameis Winston healthy? 'Cause I know Derek Carr's not playing with this game against New Orleans, so we'll see what happens. But damn,
Duran,
Durant, look at Durant
I
said,
considered it,
maybe
bro.
you
I'm not
should
gonna
never
lie.
come back.
I'm not gonna lie. I considered it.
We
Because you
are
know what, bro?
undefeated.
You know what, KB? For all the fans out there that are like, damn, the Giants stopped tanking and now it's like, we're the eighth pick in the draft.
And the
And bro, you're Raj. That's what I'm saying, bro. What's good, Eric?
I'm
Bro, for
retiring.
all the people that are like that, I don't even blame them if we actually lose this next game. They're like, yo,
Yeah, we
we
might have
should
to start
really
asking
never
some
stream again,
questions.
bro.
We might be the eighth wonder of the world, man. We might have to turn ourselves into the Giants, the media and everything. It's
That's what I'm
us.
saying.
It's us, man.
Nah, KB, before I get into the topics, man, watching the Giants, I can guess what your answer might be. But watching them over this past 3 weeks since we haven't had to talk about them, what stood out to you the most?
Team morale. That's what stood out to me the most. Team morale. Now here's the thing. This is different from other years where you really notice like a break in the locker room. Like 2017 is probably the worst season I've seen the Giants be as a collective in a long time. Like I've never seen them so dysfunctional and so like almost toxic. Like they didn't like each other. Like there was beef with Eli Apple and Landon Collins. There was Janoris Jenkins was like literally just not playing for the team at all. Like there was just a whole bunch of dysfunction. I don't see that with this team. But let me make myself clear. It is very, very night and day from what we've seen early on in the season. Even in the games that we won, like Arizona game, of course, they're hyped because they came back from down 20, 21 points or something like that. How
One of the best
how
games of
were
Daniel
they down?
Jones's career as well. On
You
top of
were
that,
down 20 points. They were down 20 points, right? Like 20
I think it
nothing.
was. I think it was 20 or 21.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
But that being said, I mean, the team morale is just different, and a big part of that. It's crazy. It's crazy that we're even talking about this man. Tommy DeVito. He was such a throwaway name in the beginning of the season. I was like, all right, this guy's a transfer from Syracuse. He plays one season with Illinois. Comes on at the only reason why he is a Giant. Because let's be real, the only reason why this man was put on this team is because the Giants get local talent, right? NFL teams look at local talent first. He's a Jersey kid. They look at local talent, and they brought him in. And they're like, hey, you have a chance to be our practice squad, undrafted free agent rookie quarterback. Really, your job is to sit there and look pretty. That's his job this entire
Uh,
year. And
Gabagool,
dude, the gabagoo. And
the
bro,
Gabagool.
due to certain circumstances, bro, the stars aligned for this man. Like, I think the mafia made it. The mafia must have put this field in place. They must have did it. Sean Stiletto, which by the way, what a Italian agent name, Sean Stiletto. That just sounds
I mean,
sounds
I
like
will say this. I love that him and his family and even his agent are leaning into the joke because his agent was
yeah,
dressed like a mob boss on the
yeah,
sideline.
hilarious, and he apparently he always dressed like that. I saw another interview of him in a even more wackier suit, like a all red and orange freaking fedora and suit. Weird, weird. But that being said, he's a big part of that. It's not just him. His personality obviously looks like a guy that is a rah. He looks like a rah guy. He looks like a guy that you could get behind. it's not just that; it's his story. It's really the underdog story. Everyone loves an
Say
underdog.
something real quick about him, KB.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. I was, and maybe part of me, I still am. But for the most part, I was a Tommy DeVito hater. You know why? Because I was like, we are one of the most storied franchises in the NFL, going through by far our worst period in history because we can't seem to string two successful seasons together. We're an absolute joke of a league.
Yeah.
And my team is out here tweeting about food when it comes to Tommy DeVito,
Yes.
the
Yes.
memes. I'm
Yes.
like, we
Yes.
used to
Yes.
tweet about Super Bowl wins, man. What is going on?
We used
Like,
to tweet about them trophies in the case.
we used to tweet about, or just, we used to be about beating the greatest teams of all time and winning
Right.
rings.
Documentary.
Like, so I just
Documentaries.
want to bring that up
Yeah.
for a while. And like I said, part of me still is. I was just a hater of Tommy DeVito, not because of him, but just because I'm like, this is what my team has fallen down to. Like, this is what my team has fallen down to. But to
Yeah.
your point, KB, because they've been doing that, because everybody's kind of like leaned into the joke. Yeah, team morale, in a inadvertent way, it's saved the team morale and prevented it from really breaking up like that. And I guess I should pop up. I mean, how do we end up here, Paisano? That was the first thing. This kind of leads into it. How did we end up here?
Well, it all started with Daniel Jones getting hurt. It started with his injury. He came back. Tyrod got hurt, inevitably so. I think everyone knew if Tyrod had a long period of playing time, he was eventually going to get hurt. I think that's really what the big stir was going into in the middle of the season when Tyrod was starting was how do you go into a season with Tommy DeVito as your like next best option? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't even
No,
think
because no, this is true. Even up until his very first game, I told you on the phone call, the guy couldn't throw a ball properly.
yeah. And then like he's okay. The Giants coaching staff did not think he would do what he's doing right now at all.
Yeah,
Like this is
I agree.
they took a chance on a local kid. They're giving somebody a job. That's basically what he was there for. Just giving a quarterback a job, giving a local kid a job to go home and say that mom and dad, I'm a New York Giant. That's it. And he came in here and that's all his job was supposed to be. And due to circumstances, he finds himself on the field starting. And what a turn of events, because you go back to that Jets game and Brian Dable didn't trust this man to throw a ball at all. Like the only balls he was throwing were either incomplete downfield or they were just swing passes. Go back to that overtime drive,
Yeah.
that terrible overtime drive. Like Brian Dable didn't want him to throw downfield. And you come to it now and I'm not gonna over exaggerate none of that stuff, guys. Don't take my words and just go over the edge with it. He takes the shots that Daniel Jones will not take. And I'm not here to compare Daniel Jones. I'm not here to bully Daniel Jones at all. But if you see this like competitive spirit that he has, and you see when he runs, when he gets up, how hype he is, like he's ready to go back and give it another go. Like it's not Daniel Jones doesn't do that. Like when Daniel Jones runs and he gets it's the little things honestly that I notice. When he runs, gets tackled, gets back up, he's just like, all right, get back to the huddle. Tommy DeVito runs, gets tackled, and he's hype. He's hype. He's ready to go back in for another go. He throws the ball downfield. He's signaling for a first down, getting hype. Like I don't know, he has that competitive edge to him that it shows in his play because he takes chances.
Hey, shout out to Asia in the chat. It's been a minute.
Yeah, he takes chances, and a big improvement was also the offensive line. He wasn't sacked. I think this is the first time the Giants did not allow a sack in a game.
I've KB, let me get this super chat and then I'll get to that. Shout out to Tudo. Massive salutes and respects to Kush and KB and all diehard fans in America. And the Giants will beat the Saints. Loses again in Sunday. We say forget about it. I'm surprised it didn't say Pisano because Tommy DeVito is a Pisano. But KB, I wanna what you just said about the offensive line. I'm gonna bring up 2 points. I find it both hilarious and terrible that it really took them this long to figure anything out, right? Whether both the players and the coach, because I still think Bobby Johnson should be fired. I'm gonna stand on that hill until he's either here next year or gone next year. But it's terrible that it took them this long, and it's hilarious. But at the same time, KB, You know what? One of the criticisms for me for Daniel Jones was this year, not last year, but years before. Last year is the standout year. His pocket presence affects the offensive line because he can't, he gets sacked in situations where the offensive line breaks down. He probably still shouldn't get sacked because of the way he moves and operates. I'm not saying that Tommy DeVito is better than him in that sense, but I do think that also plays a part of it because we saw it with Tyrod Taylor. The offensive line, it was still as bad as it was when DJ was out there, but Tyrod
Yeah.
knew how to move around a little bit better. I just wanted
Yeah.
to bring that up as well.
Yeah.
And Asia, she says I'm getting Linsanity vibes. When I tweeted out the show, I said, let's talk about the Linsanity run.
The only thing that sucks is Linsanity that fell off a cliff. And this is why I don't want people to get so embraced into this too much where they think that Tommy DeVito is like the answer now. Like he's the franchise quarterback. Listen, there's always a Brock Purdy situation, but there's always a Josh Dobbs situation as well. You guys saw it this season. Josh Dobbs came in for the Minnesota Vikings, had probably 2 weeks of like a quarterback's dream to just show up on a team and just dominate, absolutely dominate. It looked like he was on the team since the start of that season, and he's already been benched for Nick Mullins. I mean, it's over. His Linsanity run is over. He's a backup quarterback. That's what he is, right? Tommy DeVito, as of right now, he is a backup quarterback. Let's be real here. Although we love his quarterback rating, we love his competitive spirit, he still threw for 158 yards. Okay. Let's not over exaggerate. He didn't throw for 400 yards. He was NFC's player of the week, which I'll be honest with you, just because I'm a Giants fan, I like it, but I don't think he should have won player of the week. It just
What do you think should have, man? I'm just out of curiosity.
I bet you I don't know, but I bet you I can go through any NFC opponent, NFC like matchup or whatever, or NFC quarterback, and they probably had a better game than Tommy DeVito. Let's be real. I mean, he wasn't terrible. He was good. He got the job done. He was magic last 2 days ago, right? But he threw for 158 yards. I mean, he ran for 71 yards, which is great, right? It's great, but like, and he has some good throws, but it's I think they're overhyping him a little bit. And I think it's because of the Italian stallion. I think it's because of the hand gesture. I think it's because of his agent. He's making a lot. He's going viral. Like he's now a household name for whatever reason. So there's a lot of hype that goes into it. I honestly think if Tommy DeVito was just a normal quarterback, he won the game, he would not be voted NFC Player of the Week. I'll be honest with you.
I want you to respond to this.
He can be a starter. Stop knock. Sure. Eventually, I think he can be a starter. Here's the thing, guys. We really have to be careful when we judge a backup quarterback in their first 4 games starting because they're starting due to circumstances, right? We've seen it time and time again. You can go back a number of quarterbacks. Brock Osweiler, okay? Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, right? These are all former Patriot quarterbacks, by the way. RIP Ryan Mallett. And who else? A bunch of the long neck man. What's his name? His name is escaping me. We had him at quarterback.
I know who you're talking about. I know.
Why can't I remember his name?
I can't remember his name either.
Is it Glenn? No, not Glenn.
Yeah.
Is it?
You're on to something. Mike Glennon.
I'm on to something, right?
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon. There we go. Mike Glennon. There's Mike Glennon. Do you guys know that all 4 of those guys that I mentioned alone signed big contracts with another team because as a backup quarterback, they came in due to circumstances. They played well. Nick Foles too. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl because he's a backup quarterback. He goes and signs a big contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just that's it. He also signed a contract with the Chiefs at some point. He also was the starter for the Rams at some point. Okay, they gave a chance on him. They thought he could be a starter because he won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. He's a backup quarterback. They do well due to circumstances because the team fights for him that year. Whatever the case is, they try their hardest because their starter is gone. It happens. Tommy DeVito right now is playing well. I don't want to take anything away from him. He's playing well. He's looking like he really reminds me of Brock Purdy right now, right? But there's a long way before he can get to a Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, like it clicked. It clicked for Brock Purdy where he is like, he's a good quarterback. I don't think Brock Purdy is special. but I think he works well in his system. I don't know if Tommy DeVito is there yet, and I don't think it's fair to judge him based off of 3 starts. Yes, he's 3-0 with those starts, but he's not like he's throwing for 3 touchdowns a game. He did throw for 3 touchdowns against Washington, but who doesn't throw for 3 touchdowns against Washington? Let's be real. And he's not throwing like 300. He still hasn't had a 300-yard game. His highest was 246 yards, which is good, right? Against Washington again, but he's just not. He's not special to me. Tommy DeVito's not special. He's just doing well due to circumstances. So that's all I can say. Oh, read Asia's comment.
Oh, not again. Oh man. I will.
Man.
I will, Asia. Yo, man. I hope that she does get better because I remember like about a year ago, I want to say it was a very similar situation.
Yeah.
Definitely will. Don't worry, Asia. I got you, man. Sure KB does as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna say to add on to the Tommy DeVito thing. I love what he's doing. I love the fact that he's going viral because he's currently the quarterback
It's a
for my team.
household name now.
I love the fact that he went from being somebody that only Giants fans knew because we were like, why is he our third string quarterback?
Check this out. Not even casual fans knew who he was. Casual Giants fans didn't know who he was because he was on the practice squad. He was an undrafted free agent rookie quarterback. Nobody thought he would even have be wearing a jersey ever for this team. So, yeah.
I love all that. In my opinion about Tommy DeVito, I think it's a great story, but I think that's where it ends. I don't want to limit his quote unquote potential or ceiling or anything, but it's not like he's the future, guys. Let's stop that. I can't believe I have to say that. I think he is literally. I was thinking about this on the car drive home. I think he is 2023's version of Gardner Minshew. But Gardner Minshew was Minshew was, in my opinion, a better quarterback in 2019 than DeVito is in 2023. But very similar because Gardner Minshew just blew up out of nowhere and went viral because of his look. Because he looked like a stereotypical Florida man.
Wow, bro.
Tommy DeVito looks like a stereotypical Jersey kid.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You're hitting it on the head
and they're
right
both
now.
They're both playing good given the situation that they're in. For teams at the times that are trash. And it will carry them a long way. And just like how I thought Gardner Minshew honestly is better than some backup QBs out there, and he's stuck as a backup QB right now. I think that could be Tommy DeVito. He can possibly be a journeyman or something.
Yeah, he could.
But he ain't the future. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, he's not the future. He's not the future. And I'm seeing guys. I don't know if Sean Marash, that radio host guy, if he, I don't know if that was serious. I don't know if he was trolling, but dude looked like a 9-year-old in front of his TV, like seeing Spider-Man on the TV or something like that, and getting hyped, bro. Guys, I know as the Giants fan base, we love to hate players and we love to love players. Like we over exaggerate insane. And I do it too. Okay. I do it too. I can get overhyped about a player and I can extremely hate a player for no reason other than the fact that they drop a ball one time. Like that could be me too. I get it. Okay. But the first step to change is acknowledging the problem. And we have a problem with over exaggerating players, man. You could see, I love that you said the Gardner Minshew thing because his freaking mullet and the Southern look, everybody just loved. Everybody loved his look, so he became a household name really quick. He filled in for Jack. Who was Blake Bortles was a starter, right? Blake Bortles was starter and he got hurt. It was Blake Bortles.
Yeah, I think he was literally.
It was Foles.
I think he literally just ended up being a bridge. Yeah, somehow.
I think it was Foles. I think Foles, because Foles signed a big contract there. He gets hurt. Yes, that's what it was. He got hurt week 1. Nick Foles got hurt week 1 of that season. Gardner Minshew came in and finished the game, and I think he won the game. And then he became starter from there on. Everyone thought that Minshew was the truth, and he was a late round draft pick, and they thought he was money. And now he's on his 3rd team now, and trying to help the Indianapolis Colts win. And he's a good bridge starter, which right now is what Tommy DeVito is. Tommy DeVito is a bridge starter. He's a guy that's going to fill in. As a starter, as a somewhat long-term starter, because he's been starting, probably gonna be starting the rest of the season, and he'll go right back into his backup role. And here's the thing: what I said on Twitter, I like Danny DeVito. I like Tommy DeVito, and I want him to stay here. I want him to be our backup. I want him over Tyrod. believe it or not, even if we get a rookie quarterback in here, I know Tyrod's a mentor, but if we have to keep one, I'm keeping Tommy DeVito. Why? He could be a good quality backup for us in the future. He's very young. He can
Okay,
stay on
in
this
that
roster for a decent
situation,
amount of time.
I disagree with you in that situation because I would want my rookie QB to learn from somebody that's a vet.
I get
Tommy
it.
DeVito isn't a vet.
I get that. I get that. But I wouldn't. It wouldn't be beyond me if they keep both of them somehow. But
Yeah.
um,
I do want to get this comment real quick because I
go ahead.
found
Go
it
ahead.
funny. Vito's dad would put a hit on Saquon if we lost the game. Nah, I saw this hilarious meme
Oh my God! Don't be so
where's the agent,
negative.
and
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
I want Daniel Jones to stay off the field for the rest of the season, or we gonna have a
Oh yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
I
the
saw the
meme,
meme.
bro.
It was like
It was like
yeah,
putting
yeah.
out a hit on Daniel Jones.
Oh my
Absolutely
God.
hilarious.
He's like, or
Yo,
we
shout out
walk.
to Eli, man. How you doing,
What up,
bro?
Eli?
Shout
What up?
out. Y'all go support the man on everything he does, from New York Revival to the Twitter Spaces to everything, man.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we do. I'm sure we all remember Jared Lorenzen.
R.I.P. Jared Laurent, hefty
Rest in
lefty.
peace.
R.I.P.
In response to your, you would kind of want him to be like the backup QB for like the rest of whatever.
Yeah, because if you think
I
about
don't
it,
mind it, but there's, yo, let's
you
not
guys.
get it twisted, bro. You could find better backup QBs for like the same price.
But here's the thing: right now, as an undrafted free agent rookie, he's like I said, I don't want to overhype him because I just spent a whole rant saying not to overhype him. But as an undrafted free agent rookie, what he's doing right now is very good. Like this is a very good stepping stone for him that he's
Mhm.
already ahead of a lot of other quarterbacks who are in his position that never get a shot because they're not good enough. He's doing the best with his opportunities. I want to keep him around. As a backup quarterback and be a long-term backup. Remember Ryan Nassib? How long was Ryan Nassib spent his whole rookie contract backing up Eli Manning, and there was no problem with it. He was backup every year, and whenever he did come in, he was fine. Whenever he played preseason, he was fine. Like he was just the backup for the entire rookie contract. I would like that for Tommy DeVito. I would like that for him to learn, and then if he needs to move on to greener pastures and sign a contract elsewhere, then let him do that. But I wouldn't cut. I wouldn't have a reason to cut Tommy DeVito. I don't want him to. Now there is a question. Obviously, we mentioned it. If the Giants wanted to bring a quarterback in this season, I mean in this draft, like what do we do with the quarterback position? Because he should have a mentor. This quarterback should have a mentor, and realistically, it's going to be Daniel Jones. Realistically, it's probably going to be Daniel Jones to be the mentor. And even though he's going
What
not
do you mean by that? What
not
do you mean by
not
that?
not in the way that I'm saying that the coaches are going to say, "Hey, I need you to teach this kid," because he's not going to do it. He just signed a big contract. What I'm saying is they probably won't have a guy like Tyrod there if Daniel Jones is already there.
I mean,
And
yeah, we
and
know he's there next year.
you
We
draft a
know he's
Drake
there for sure
May
next year. Yeah.
and you draft a Drake
Let's not get too
May.
much. Let's not get too much to future talk though, because
Mhm.
that's actually the last topic for
Okay,
tonight.
okay.
But we know he's gonna be there because the contract, to close that off
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah. I just don't
Um,
see Tyrod
yeah.
being around. Mhm.
What is Tommy DeVito's ceiling? To close out this topic before we go on to the second one, I think ceiling
I think
bridge
you said it
QB.
best.
I'm gonna be honest.
I think you said it best. A Gardner
Gardner Minshew.
Minshew.
Yeah.
I think his ceiling. And you know what? I think his like unrealistic fairy tale ceiling is a Brock Purdy. I really if he somehow, some way, like knocks it out the park with his development, absolutely just kills it and just sky's the limit, he could be a Brock Purdy because I see that in him. But realistically, probably a Gardner Minshew. Probably a Gardner Minshew. But I'm not saying like play like play like Brock Purdy because of the system he's in. I don't think anybody. I don't think if Brock Purdy goes anywhere else, he's going to play like the way he's playing. I'm saying the type of quarterback he is a Brock Purdy, a guy that a really good game manager, a guy that goes through all his reads, is fairly accurate, not the best arm. Actually, Tommy DeVito doesn't have a bad arm. And somewhat mobile. That's what I could really see him being as like a Brock Purdy, but not play up to the level of Brock Purdy, if that makes any sense.
And yeah, that's the ceiling to get these. I see two more comments before we get to the next one. What up, Anthony? How you doing? Should the Giants make a splash this upcoming offseason with the right tackle position and get Trent Williams and move Neal to guard? I'll let you tackle this one real quick.
They're not going to move Neal to guard. That's it. I mean, there's not much to say. They're not going to move Neal to guard. He knows he's. I don't think he'll play well at guard either. To be honest with you, I just don't think he's going to play well at guard. I don't know. I have a feeling. I have a feeling.
Mike Evans rumored to be a free agent after the season. Do you think we have a chance? Since he asked me
No.
directly, I'll take it real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
No, mostly because we need to stop going for these offensive splashes
Thank you.
before we
Thank
have
you.
anything else in set.
We
I
need to
think
build the
we've fallen
team.
into this loop way too much to do it again.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say.
why? Like, why? Why did we get a 31-year-old wide receiver? I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Let's
make sense.
get to the second topic. Is the coaching be finished? I feel like this has been swept under the rug, or just kind of people
Because we're
forgot about it
winning.
really, really soon because we're winning. And modern day Nick Foles, KB made that a similar comparison earlier. Eli,
Could
they
be. Yeah.
made that comparison. But yeah, no, because we're winning, I didn't forget about this. KB, may you guys in the chat, let me know.
I think it's
Put
bullshit.
yes, put yes if you think the beef is finished. Put no if you don't. I just want to see yeses and nos for a little bit.
I think
While
that
y'all are doing that, bro, I don't think something like that. Because first of all, Jay Glazer, we got to put some respect on Jay Glazer's name and real. And I don't take his reports with a grain of salt. I take it with a oh my god, this is actually happening type of vibe, right? If he reports
yeah.
it was so bad to the point where they might split in the offseason, and then we all of a sudden start winning, which that is coincidence, but it's like such a convenient coincidence. We start winning, so everybody forgets about it. I don't know. I don't think something like that goes away after just 3 weeks of like random wins. Kate.
Eli, you gotta give me this info because I think all of this is bullshit. To be honest with you, I think all of it's but and I'm with you. Jay Glazer, whatever he says is usually true. But listen, first of all, people that are like building off of this now, I'm not gonna say Jay Glazer co-signs everybody that's building off of his comments because there are a lot of people building off of it, trying to get clicks and views and stuff like that, saying that this didn't start this season. It started last season when the Giants were finishing 9-8. I didn't see that at all. Like they were bro, that locker room was like impenetrable. They were a tight-knit group. Wink and Dable were always close. You saw it in training camp. They were always talking, laughing with each other. Yes, Brian Dable is going to yell at Wink sometimes. It's gonna happen. And of course, like and trust me, you guys, what I'm saying, I don't believe everything Joe Shane says and Dable says. They have to save face as well. But what they say makes sense, dude. It's different when you're losing games. Their tensions are going to be high. I don't think it's to the point. They said that everybody on that coaching staff hates Brian Dable. Like they hate him. They use the word hate. They don't hate. There's no way they hate Brian Dable. I'm sorry. Brian Dable doesn't even we know coaches that are hateable, right? We know coaches that are hateable that completely throw people under the bus and things like that. Ben McAdoo. You guys remember 2017? I brought this up plenty of times, at least 10 times this past year with this 2017 situation. Ben McAdoo was hateable, okay? Janoris Jenkins hated this man. Landon Collins hated this man. Everybody hated this man. He threw Eli Manning under the bus. That is a guy that I would believe the whole locker room and the coaching staff, they hate him, right? Because of all the confidence that the arrogance that he would walk into the press conferences with the slick back hair and everything, throwing his quarterback under the bus, things like that. I get that. I don't see that in Dable. Now, could the tensions be high and people have talked? Yeah, maybe. I just don't see this organization or this coaching staff leaking to Jay Glazer or somebody, or they leaked it to somebody and somebody leaked it to Jay Glazer that they hate Brian Dable, that they want to split from him and things like that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I would love to see some sources on it because this is what I'm talking about, man. The Giants media, the fans, we automatically turn our intuitions into lore, right? We turn our intuitions into lore. There was a guy who made a video and says, look at the way Brian Dable threw the ball at Wink when he gave him that game ball. They didn't hug or embrace. That means there's a problem in the locker room. There is an absolute problem in the I saw a video. I wanted to punch my screen. I was like, I can't believe people are eating this up. There's also a big rumor. There's no source on this. There's no source on this, but people say it as fact. There's no source that Daniel Jones made a call crying to John Mara to get him a contract, and John Mara forced
I know
Joe
what you're
Shane.
talking about. I've seen
Bro,
that. bro. And I'm
But
gonna
people think it's
that
real.
has to be that
People
sounds so fake.
automatically think, bro, I'm not gonna say names, but there are people who I like that are saying this on Twitter, and they're saying it like it's fact. It is not fact, guys. We have to stop like spreading these rumors because we're like intentionally spreading misinformation because it fits our agenda and it fits our lore. Guys, stop this. It's ridiculous. Unless I see actual sources, I'm not believing a word you guys are saying. I can't. I'm sorry. That's not the person I am.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
So you said unless you see actual sources. Before
I
I give
have
my
to see actual
response,
sources.
is Jay Glazer not an actual source, or do you what?
He's got
Just
to source
your
it. He's
thoughts.
got to source it. He can't. He's got a source. He. To me, he's not a source. He's a
I mean,
whistleblower. He's
he's
a
yeah,
whistleblower.
he's a whistleblower. Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
not the guy that gets the information. He's the guy that hears the information. I want to know where he heard the information from.
So
He can't just say
to
an
respond to
unnamed
you,
account so
yeah.
told me this. Like I can't. Like, no.
So to respond to you, and I guess to slightly change what I said earlier, because I still take it very much like I said as a oh my god this is happening when it's him because we have yet to see a Glazer report that's really been not factual, that's really
I
been
agree. I
just
agree. Jay
pure
Glazer
made up,
has hit
right?
on things, but I think
But
it's true,
to
but
add on to you, KB,
overreacted. Mhm.
yeah, to add on to you, I definitely, you know what, I agree with what you said. I can see this being just blown out of proportion because, yeah, things are different when you're losing. Things are different when you look like literally the worst team in the league
Yeah,
coming off
tensions
of a
run high,
playoff
man.
year. When your
They're all grown men.
offense, yeah, when your offense is the problem, and that's rumored what has caused the rift between them, whatever it is, because like every fan sees it. We're like, our defense is putting in work and our defense is better than it looks, but this offense is just selling the game every single game. It's different. Um, and I definitely think that there is some tension there. I'm not gonna hold you. Like Tudo said, tough coaches are always hated in any competitor leagues. Don't listen to the half-ass fans making things up and watching TV. But I will say tough coaches are competitors as well. They're competing with each other every day. And if I'm Wink, I'm
I
letting
don't doubt
Dable
it,
hear
Eli.
it too.
I
I'm
don't
I'm
doubt it, Eli. I don't doubt it.
Oh no, he definitely is. But if I'm Wink, I'm letting Dable hear it because Dable is at fault for a lot of the stuff that we talked
Oh,
about way earlier in the
absolutely.
season. So much
Absolutely.
stuff that like fans and media don't give him fault for, but obviously in the building, hopefully he is getting it and they are taking care of that situation.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess my answer to this is I don't think it's finished, but to amend it with what you said, I don't think it's necessarily as bad as it seems.
Yeah, I don't think they're waiting for Dable to like resign or anything like the coaches and players will be like, "Oh my god, thank God he's out the building." I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. Yeah, like to Eli's point, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. He's gonna be a hard ass, bro. This is his job. At the end of the day, it all falls on him. Coaches are gonna be hard asses on everybody, and yeah, they're gonna blame a lot, put a lot of blame and accountability on their coaching staffs. They're gonna do that. And I trust me, guys, I am not here to defend Dable. Okay, I'm one of the first content creators to come out here and start blaming him in the first place. When everybody was on Daniel Jones's ass, I was looking at Brian Dable as well. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm not here to defend him, but I don't think it is as severe as a lot of people are saying it is. I don't think it's as severe. I think there is tension in the locker room. What team wouldn't? Look at the expectations we had going into the season, and look at how it hasn't worked out, bro. I see it on my flag football team all the time. There are some seasons where we feel like we're about to win the championship, and we finish that season with 3 wins. I mean, it happens, and we all yell at each other. We all get mad, but I don't think they hate him. I cannot see a scout. I cannot see a position coach telling Jay Glazer that they hate Brian Dable. And don't tell anybody I hate Brian Dable. Oh man, he's such a son of a bitch. He says he hates me. He says all this rude stuff to me. It makes me cry at night. So I'm crying to you about it. I don't believe it. I need to see a source on that. I have to. I have to. I have to tell you, it's not finished, but I think it can be fixed, in my opinion.
So I feel like that lines up with my latest stance on it. I don't think it's finished, but I don't think it's as bad as it was reported. I think that lines up with that then.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it is a problem, KB, that it's not finished. That is a problem.
I
I'll say
agree.
that.
I agree. It shouldn't be like that, but bro, we're human beings, man. We're gonna get pissed at each other, if things don't go our way. But
And then let's see. KB Kush, what's your thoughts on the same Twitter users leaving the fan base and referring to team? Okay, as somebody that knows some behind the scenes stuff with that,
Oh
uh,
no.
uh, some of them are trolling straight up, because it's
I
great
did the
for
same thing on
engagement.
April Fools.
Yeah, but some of them are trolling because it's great for engagement, and the people that really know them know that they're trolling.
Yeah,
And some of them I don't know like that, so I don't know if they're trolling or not. But
yeah.
I just find it hilarious. The
Oh
rush,
my
the
god.
energy.
Oh my god. Tudo just brought up a huge point. Tom Coughlin. You want to know who was hated by their coaching staff? Tom freaking Coughlin. Michael Strahan said on the Giants Life documentary, whatever the documentary, the football life documentary of Tom Coughlin, he said verbally, straight up said, I hated Tom Coughlin. I hated being around him. I hated it. Tom Coughlin even said that he had to tone back because he realizes how much of a hard ass he was to everybody, his coaches and the players. Okay, so everybody crying about Brian Dable is hated and it's a real problem here. And he's so mean to the coaches and he says he doesn't like them and he says fuck you to me all the time. Like, guys, Tom Coughlin, if you thought Brian Dable was bad, Tom Coughlin would probably make you cry at night every night. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the players were crying at night every night. So guys, we got to come on. Come on. I don't. Brian Dable is not Tom Coughlin. Let's be real.
Great point there by Tudo. No, I don't. No, why would I? Okay, first of all,
I hate the
Gabe,
4-3. I don't want it.
first of all, forget all that. I didn't make a Kayvon Thibodeau slide because I feel like we've praised them like a good amount in the past couple episodes, so I didn't want to repeat too much content. But Kayvon Thibodeau, guys, we got to realize, went from having what was kind of an underwhelming rookie season to 11 and a half sacks, more pressures than he had last year, more QB hits than he had last year, rushing the passer on a more consistent basis, more forced fumbles than he had last year. Just anything when it comes to pass rushing more than he had last year. And like I said, 11 and a half sacks, that's top 8 in the NFL.
He's 11
I
and a
think
half or
still.
11. I mean, or 12.
It's I don't know. One out of those two. Either way, that's top 8 in the NFL. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's still top 5. And that's in his second year. And that's in a wink system where he doesn't. Edge rushers don't really get sacks. I think that
11 and a half. You're right.
alone.
You're right.
I think that alone, Kayvon Thibodeau alone, is enough evidence to not have a defensive scheme change. But on top of that, you got Dexter Lawrence still balling out. On top of that, you got our rookie Tate Banks balling out.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, you have our defense, which is better than it looks,
We took
balling out most of the
we
time.
took so long adjusting to a 3-4 change. Why on earth will we then switch to 4-3? Why on earth? Unless that's what he means. Does he mean defensive scheme like the base like 4-3 base and 3-4 base? Or are you talking about like man and zone? That's a more specific question. But I think, listen, ideally, it is harder. It is
Eric,
harder.
I will
I
say this is more so because our offense couldn't score and the defense is on the field long than anything else.
Yeah, time
I
of
just that's in
possession.
me.
We were
Yeah,
getting killed with time of possession. There's a reason why the Giants defense has 22 turnovers in total,
and yeah,
and 12 of them came in the past 3 weeks.
and that's what I mean by our defense is better than it looks and better than the stats say because our offense has been selling them for like 90% of the year.
Yeah. And the defense got off to a slow start. Now they're really hitting it. So I don't think there would be a reason to change it now. But here's the thing. Wink runs a defense that every defensive coordinator wish they can run. When you have an opportunity to blitz everybody and play one-on-one defense with your corners, that is the best defense you could play in. It is the most risky, but is the best defense you could play in. If you could have the most amount of players rushing the passer with only one player defending each wide receiver, that is ideally what you want to be. You want to be a 3-4 press man coverage team. That's what you want to be. That's what every defensive coordinator wants to be, ideally, if they can have a perfect world. But some of them run zone defenses because they feel like it's better. Some of them run soft man defenses. Some of them run regular man defense and don't blitz as much as Wink. Wink runs a defense that you want to have. Trust me. This is why he has a lot of respect in the league because of what he does.
And then let me go ahead and get to the third topic at hand. Which direction, guys?
Oh,
Which direction do we go?
That's great. That's great. You know what's crazy? My video that I'm about to drop right after this, the stream is pretty much going, weighing out the options of that and stuff like that. So
You start us off, KB.
um,
Because guess what? All of a sudden,
You're gonna hate me.
we're not in any position to get, in my opinion, what would have been the QB of the future and set the franchise
Highlight
forward.
Eli's thing.
But go ahead, hit that
Hi-
like button, chat.
Yeah,
Which
highlight. Yeah.
direction?
I don't know how you guys are feeling about this. You might hate me, you might not. I say, fuck it. Go all the way. Go all the way, man. Try your darndest. Try your darndest. Listen, I've been making, how many videos have I made about quarterback, about the Giants drafting Caleb Williams or Drake May? I've made a lot of them because I want one of those two quarterbacks, right? We're 5-8 though. We're one game out of the wild card. We're one game. I know we have 4 games left and Philly twice, right? 4 games left? 4 games? 4 games. We have 4 games left and Philly twice. Okay? It's going to be hard. I want to get in that motherfucker, man. Please. I want to get in there. Bro, if the Giants make the playoffs with Tommy DeVito, bro, think about the confidence we can go in with in the season. Bro, we could trade up for a quarterback, bro. Let's just do it. Let's just go. Let's go. Let's go. I don't want to tank no more, man. I'm tired of this. You know, bro, I had to tweak my brain. I had to tweak my, you guys know I don't have a tanking bone in my body. I was trying to tweak my brain for these past month and a half. You guys can go back into my videos. A link is in the description of my channel. You guys can go back. I'm trying to convince myself that tanking is the way. But I kind of went with this coping mechanism where I don't want my team to lose. I'm just going to watch them lose, right? Right? Don't wish for your team to lose. Just sit there and watch your team lose, right? I can't do it anymore. We won 3 straight. It's time to go all the way. We're going to the playoffs and Super Bowl with Tommy DeVito, baby. Let's go.
I just want you to read this tweet out loud, KB. Just read the words out loud and then narrate what is on the left and narrate what's on the right. That's all I want you to do.
All right. Joe Shane was ready to draft his own quarterback in most likely back-to-back seasons. He's probably most upset out of everybody what's happening right now.
Okay, I disagree with the second part completely. Yeah, but just narrate the 2 pictures.
So that's CJ Stroud on the right. Who's on the left? I can't see. That's
Caleb Williams.
Oh, I couldn't see none of that.
So CJ from last year.
Oh, okay. Caleb, well, first, I want to say something real quick. First of all, I know I was last time we were on the stream, I was saying, don't worry, all hope is not lost. We can still get Caleb Williams. We're not getting Caleb now. We have 5 wins.
Not at all.
It's not happening.
Not at all, bro.
I don't even think we're getting Drake May. I don't even think we're getting Drake May unless we really trade up draft capital. And I'm sorry, I'm not giving up a king's ransom for the second quarterback on the board. Not doing it. Jaden Daniels, I'm going to be doing my film on him. I don't know how I feel about him. Michael Penix is really good. I just can't get over his ACL injuries. But he's a top 10 quarterback in any draft, honestly. I want to win, baby. I want to win. I want to go into next season, no matter who we draft. I want to go into next season and say, damn, we fought. We fought. Bro, remember 2013? Were you around in 2013? Were you like watching Giants football? Bro, we started 0-7. Oh, no. Yeah, 0-7. We started off 0-7, bro. Those were the worst. One of the worst childhood experiences ever. I couldn't walk into school. They were laughing at me every day, man. I couldn't do it. And you know where we finished? 7-9. And
just let me know when I can
regretted
speak.
it. I never regretted it for a freaking draft pick.
Turn.
I don't give a darn, bro. I wanted to win. And we finished 7-9 from starting 0-7. That is insane. 0-6. 0-6. I'm sorry, amazing guy. 0-6. And we finished 7-9. We were going to make the playoffs. Bro, we fought hard. We had garbage on the road. Bro, that team was garbage. And we still found a way. Go ahead, man.
It's my turn.
And we got Odell. Yeah, we got Odell the following season. Absolutely. See, the tanking didn't even
Giovanni,
matter. The tanking didn't even matter.
I sat here across the table from you and I listened to you spew just words with no meaning.
Go ahead. I'm about to destroy your whole argument right now.
I don't want anybody to get it twisted. I don't want anybody to get it twisted, all right? Because just like KB, I've come on here and it's been very hard for me to say, yeah, we should tank. All right? So I don't want anybody to get it twisted. I don't like watching my team lose. Like Eli brought up in the chat, I saw it. Look at what winning does, not just for the team, which we talked about at the very beginning, but for the fan base as well. Mm-hmm. When your team wins, it's a good time. But KB, it's not about tanking for me so much so as it is that I feel like we're once again missing out on an opportunity to get our quarterback of the future. That's that's what is disappointing for me. If we can
I,
still somehow trade up like you're saying, then by all means do it to get whoever can be
no, I think
that
we could. I
quarterback.
think at this.
But let me finish though, right?
Okay.
If that's possible, but then by all means do it. But how literally how many times in the past 5 years have we been in this exact situation? 4 out of the past 5 years, KB, we've been in this exact situation where we're in a position to either tank or quote unquote just try and win out. It's only been a couple now where it's playoffs are a legitimate thing. That was 2020 under Joe Judge and now. But the other years it wasn't really a thing, but it was just like let's win out to get the experience for the young guys. Let's win out so we don't end, with a terrible year and whatnot. But legitimately, 4 out of the past 5 years, if it went the other way, we probably have a legit franchise altering talent at the quarterback position, and we're not in the position we are with Daniel Jones right now, and we're not in the position where we're cheering for Tommy DeVito. And even though he deserves the cheers,
Can I convince you?
that is where I'm at. I listen. I don't know if you. I'm be honest with you. I don't know if you can because, like I said,
I'm
this
about
is
to. I'm about
so
to.
many times in
I'm
just the
about to
past
start
five
cooking right
years.
now. I'm about to start cooking right now with straight facts. You ready? You ready? Freaking put that oil to start heating up. Listen. All right. Going back, I'll have to pull up the video, but I pulled up multiple instances where even teams that are in the late 20s trading up, they don't trade. Bro, you think trading up from 20s, that Patrick Mahomes trade was nothing. No, they didn't even give up. I don't even think they gave up another first round pick. They gave up they swapped first round picks and then gave up other compensation. That is perfectly fine if we're getting a franchise quarterback. Jaden Daniels, because trust me, the top two quarterbacks, forget about it. That's it. No, forget about it. You're not touching those two quarterbacks anymore with 5 wins. If we somehow get into the playoff race, that automatically puts you at the 20th, at least a 20th spot in the playoffs, right? No matter what your record is. If you're in the playoffs, you're automatically at least at 20th and beyond. You can trade
Can
up
you? All I'm
into the
asking, can you
top
give me
10.
another example? Because
Josh
Patrick Mahomes is
Allen,
from 5 years ago.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson. You can go back. There are plenty of even for non-quarterbacks. Marcus Davenport. They trade all the way up for Marcus Davenport. What the Saints did a couple years ago. It happened. You can really, to be honest with you, probably the 12 to the 10 to 15 spot, they are not very expensive at all. You can go up from literally 26, 27 and trade up, swap first round picks and maybe give a second and a third and that's it. And like it's really not and in different years, it's really not that bad. You can go back into these trades. And it's really not that very much expensive. Another thing I will have to say is I brought up that 2013 season. In all seriousness, I brought that 2013 season. Think about if the Giants said, screw it, we're going to tank and try to get the best available player. You know what happened in that draft? I mean, you had Jadeveon Clowney, who's like one of the biggest first round, like number 1 overall pick busts, like not ever, but like in recent memory. You have Blake Bortles, who was the first quarterback taken in that draft, and he was garbage. Johnny Manziel was in that draft. Teddy Bridgewater, it was bad. Now, these are not the same quarterbacks. I get that. We could still get, like I said, the whole training situation. But think about it. The Giants didn't tank. They went full steam ahead. They finished 7-9, and they got Odell Beckham in that draft. Like,
Where did that get them? Okay, and
okay,
this is a very serious question. Where did that get them?
Odell Beckham
Let's be
was the
real.
best possible pick in that draft. I'm sorry. Unless Aaron Donald was gonna be like, oh, we should have. Nobody thought Aaron Donald was gonna be him. Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack were probably and Mike Evans were probably the only guys that were drafted ahead that was, I guess, worth tanking for. But I'm not going freaking 2 and 14 for like Aaron Donald, and I'm like, oh yeah, we got a defensive tackle in the fucking.
I agree completely with that. But if we're gonna use that logic, we have to use the logic with the current talent that we see in this upcoming draft class.
But
Odell
that's
Beckham
exactly
didn't
what
get
I'm
us
saying.
anywhere. Now this
But that,
current talent in
that's
the draft
exactly what I'm
class.
saying. There's so much quarterbacks in here that, trust me, I want these top 2
Is
quarterbacks.
Jaden Daniels taking you to a Super Bowl?
Okay, you're playing onto my point now, where it's there's no use in tanking anymore because you're not. It doesn't matter what you do now. You're not getting the top two quarterbacks.
No,
It's
no, but I'm
Jaden
just
Daniels
saying,
or nothing.
is he taking you to Super? No, because even for
I
him,
don't know. I
listen,
don't
listen,
know.
even for
But
him,
he's
here's the
your
thing.
best bet.
To rebuttal quickly what you just said. No, no, I'm agree with you. I said it as well. Like Caleb and what's his face? They're
And
completely
Drake.
out the picture. Jaden Daniels is who you're tanking
So
for at this point. But
so what I'm
that goes
saying
to it. Does he
So what
even
I'm
take
saying is
you
that there's no
to the
point in
Super Bowl?
tanking anymore because you can trade up for Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is not going top
But
5. He's
that's
not.
my overall point, KB. I'm like, it's been 5 years where somehow, some way, there's been an opportunity to get somebody that's viewed as a generational talent, and we miss out on it.
I get it. I get it. Trust me. I get it. I
We
get it.
always miss out on it.
No, trust me. I get it. I was really first of all, tanking or not, because listen, if the Giants are tanking, just don't tell me about it. Like I want to plug my ears and just let them lose. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Caleb Williams. I'll be the first guy to say it. I have no like shame in saying it. I wanted Caleb Williams. I was okay. I didn't want the Giants to lose. I was okay with the consequence of losing and getting Caleb Williams. That's what I was okay with. But however, bro, that's just not the case anymore. Like, we have five. We already have too many wins to be in that sweepstakes. And listen, the Bears have 2 opportunities to get one of those 2 quarterbacks, and I think they're going to do that with one of those 2 picks. And then you have the Patriots there, who are for sure going to be getting a quarterback. It's just impossible. Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix. Michael Penix is going to drop because of his injuries, and Jaden Daniels is going to drop because they're not sure on him yet because he's a one-year wonder. And he won the Heisman, which is good, but I don't. Those 2 guys are not going top 5. The Giants can, no matter where they are in that draft, if they really want one of those quarterbacks, they can definitely trade up, and it's going to be relatively the compensation is relatively going to be like harmless. Very hard, bro. That Patrick Mahomes trade was harmless, bro, for the quarterback he became. Even if he was a starter, that would have been a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
trade. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
it's a
Bring
good
him
trade
to a
because
starter.
he's literally one of the most talented people to ever play at the position. But
Right.
this goes directly into the next slide, which I also see people bringing up. They're saying who they want, or not who they want, what positions they want. How is the team built next? Let's start off with the
Tom
draft.
Brady.
How is the team built next?
Ran.
Because you guys know me. Me and KB were the biggest Andrew Thomas fans out here. We were like also probably the biggest Evan Neal fans out here. We were always team O line. To this day, I'm still team O line. But
Preach,
at this
Eli.
point, I'm also like, I'm not sure if I want to draft another offensive lineman until we get another offensive line coach here because it's not going to make a difference. Because we've actually thrown a lot of talent at that offensive line, and it's very clear that they aren't panning out because we don't have the right person developing them. So I don't know if I want to draft another offensive lineman, KB. What do you say to that?
No, draft them. I don't care. I don't care who's coaching them. I need to keep refilling that
I care who's
that
coaching them. I disagree completely. If
yeah,
we
but
have Bobby Johnson still there, that's a problem.
bro, what good is it, bro? You still have like look at Andrew Thomas, bro. I mean, I know he wasn't really coached by Bobby Johnson. He was coached by other offensive lineman coaches before he got there, but he's still talented. Like you just gotta fill it up with talent. You just giving up on the offensive line position because of who's coaching them is just not helping the
No, it's not that.
situation.
It's not that. I'm saying fire Bobby Johnson
Oh,
and
for
then
sure.
draft the lineman. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Okay. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I don't Bobby Johnson, get the hell out of here. Like that should be the first move as soon as the offseason hits is to let him go. But if some stretch of the imagination he stays here, you still got to draft offensive linemen. You still got to bring him in. We don't have depth. We don't have good depth, and we
No,
barely have
particularly for
good
that
starters.
reason. Of course, particularly for that reason. I mean, going into the season, that
Oh,
was a major talking
absolutely.
point for both
I
me and
think
you.
I think that should be the first
Depth
thing
is
is
the
to get
thing.
rid of him. First thing needs to be get rid. And I
But
hope,
also McGahee, who that's kind of a little bit. I
yeah.
mean, I kind of feel a little bit bad about it because he's been here for so long. But at the same time, like, yo, listen, special teams
Oh,
have been
no, I actually feel
trash.
better. I actually feel better about it because he's been here for so long. You survived 3 coaching staff. That is unheard of, bro. From a coordinator, from one of the 3 coordinator position, a special teams coordinator survived 3 coaching staffs. How many times do you see a coaching staff, a head coach come in here and he wipes out everybody? He hires new coaches everywhere. How on earth Thomas McGahee still has a job here is ridiculous to me. He needs to be gone too. I think it makes it
And
easier
going
for us.
and going off of this right here, Eli, that's also why my next target, some people might disagree with, but I still want Mike Kafka gone. I'm sorry. Like, does anybody have any confidence in Mike Kafka right now, or should we look for another offensive coordinator?
I think he's harmless, to be honest with you. Um, because I'm fine with him, because if we really want to talk about offensive game plan play, you gotta look at Brian Dable too, man. You got to. Mike Kafka is the guy. He's not even necessarily 100% calling the plays. We already know that Brian Dable is listening to the plays call and he's approving them. So if Mike Kafka is a problem, then so is Brian Dable, to be honest with you. I don't
I
think
mean,
I
but
don't
we also did speak about that. Yeah, like we spoke about back like in the
yeah,
season when this was a whole
yeah.
topic. We're like, yeah, Dable, the offensive lack of production also lays on your
I,
shoulders
I
because
would
we know
like
you have a
to
hand on it as well.
yes, I would like to keep as much continuity as we can. But if it was the case, like if we found out that, listen, I have no control. If Brian Dable came out and said, listen, I have no control over what the offense calls, I'm just here to coach the entire team, I delegate all of that power to Mike Kafka, and he is responsible for the offense and calling the plays, then I would sit here and say, I think we need to change our offensive coordinator. But now that I know that it's the quarterback, the head coach, and the offensive coordinator in on the same headset, communicating with each other, then everything's at play here. Everything's at play. So I would question Brian Dable as well if we get rid of Mike Kafka. But I don't think he's so much of a problem. I think Mike Kafka is probably and Brian Dable is having a hard time just like trying to figure out how to move the ball downfield with the offensive line and quarterback situation that we have. I
I was
think they're
about to say,
figuring it out. They're figuring it out, but yeah.
read this comment out loud, KB, and what does that say
He's
about a certain
uh,
someone?
yeah, I already know where we're going with this. I'm fine with him. He's gotten better with Tommy in the lineup.
What does that say about a certain someone, bro?
I get it. I know. I get it. I get it. And I said in the beginning of the stream, and Eli, I don't know if you were here, but I was saying it, like Tommy is getting aggressive. And you know what the crazy thing is, Kush? The crazy thing that blows my mind is that Daniel Jones is capable of making those throws. Like, it's not like we're sitting here and saying Daniel Jones can't do
Yeah,
that.
but
It's
but
worse saying that Daniel
no,
Jones
no, no, no,
won't
no. I
do
know what
that.
you're saying, but
You know
all
what I'm
season
saying?
long we've been saying that he's regressed. All season long we were like, yeah, we know
Absolutely.
he can do this. It's just that
Absolutely. He's
he's
got
not
shell
doing it.
shocked. He got shell shocked. He's really scared of the offensive line. He's scared of the defensive lineman getting through the offensive line, and he's trying to not make a mistake. And I don't know if he's being pressured, not like not like defensive pressure. He's being pressured by something. I don't know if it's and that's what's been kind of confusing me. I don't know if it's the coaching staff. I don't know if it's his own mindset of, like, how some people are like perfection, like I want to be better. I want to, they don't want to make mistakes. I don't know if it's himself. I don't know if he's being pressured by Brian Dable. I don't know if he's being pressured by the fans or maybe his teammates around him. He's being pressured by somebody where he is scared to make a mistake. Uh, Daniel Jones looks so terrified of making a mistake that when he does and he fumbles the ball and he throws an interception, he just like completely gets down in the dumps, dude. He just completely just hangs his head and he's so disappointed in himself. I know Daniel Jones can make those throws that Tommy DeVito has been doing Tommy DeVito has made jaw-dropping throws that I didn't think that he would make, like at least 2 times a game. Whether it's the Jalen Hyatt, Saquon Barkley, that touchdown against Washington was insane. That was a great throw. The Jalen Hyatt, a couple of passes, that Isaiah Hodgins touchdown. Like, he can make those throws. Why he doesn't do it? I know Daniel Jones just feels
This is a
pressured not to
this
make a
is a
mistake.
crazy thing that I agree with actually. If he
If
had
Tommy
DJ's arm,
had
we
been,
might legitimately have a QB, bro.
I have to,
Because
what I have to do,
he
what I have
has
to
the
do.
non shell shock mentality, KB.
Yeah,
He
he's
has the
fresh. He's
aggressiveness.
fresh. He's
He's
fresh.
fresh. He has the aggressiveness.
He's
And
been
the
sacked
way
29
he's
times already.
progressed, bro.
Holy shit.
Bro, look at his progression from when he came in against the Jets and he couldn't throw a ball to literally the last game against Green Bay. That's the most progression I've seen of anybody at the quarterback position in New York Giants
Mhm,
uniform in a long time.
mhm.
Anybody out there.
Yeah, I have to
If he
go through
had
the
DJ's arm
film.
talent, I think that's something we're talking about.
I have to go through the film because I want to see like where his progressions are and how he's deciding on what throw to make. But I will say that, I mean, his 3-0 run, I mean, it's good. I mean, it seems like he's making all the right decisions. And one thing that is that he's off to a phenomenal start. like just being thrown into the fire. You right? Like you were like a couple of weeks ago, you were on the practice squad. You weren't having that expectation, those weight on your shoulder, because the X's and O's are one thing, right? The X's and O's, and that's a perfect point that I'm about to get to it right now. That he's extremely coachable. That's exactly what I was getting to. The X's and O's are one thing. The pressure and expectation is another thing, right? You could have all the X's and O's in your head. You can know exactly what to do, but if you can't handle the pressure, especially in New York media, I mean, you're not going to survive, right? He's been able to do that. He's been able to hit the ground running and prove to the coaching staff and the fans that hey, he can he can be under center for the New York Giants. Going to that, we mentioned it earlier, the Jets game where Brian Dable himself did not want to put the ball in Tommy DeVito's hands at all in a tie game in overtime. Like there was no confidence there. Now I bet you if we play that Jets game now with the
We
same weather
probably win, bro.
conditions,
We
yeah,
probably
with the
win.
same weather conditions and the same circumstances, I guarantee you he's having Tommy DeVito sling that rock. Okay, and you seen it in the press conference. It's almost like he watched our stream and watched my videos. I literally said that Brian Dable was scared of letting just let Tommy DeVito rip it. Just let him rip it. What do we have to lose? He literally said in that game-winning drive against the Green Bay Packers, he literally told Tommy DeVito, this is what he said. He said, just go out there and sling it. Just go out there and let it rip. That's what he said, something like that. Just let it rip. And Tommy DeVito took that and said, bro, my coach is behind me. I'm not afraid to make a mistake. It's go big or go home. And unfortunately, I think Daniel Jones lost that. I think Daniel Jones lost that
He lost
mentality in
that.
him.
He lost that, and God
His
knows when he
his
lost it.
sophomore year. His
Listen,
sophomore
no,
year.
no. I mean, he had it. I mean, he didn't have it last year, but he had some swag and confidence last year.
Yeah. But if you look at
And
his rookie
I
year, he
saw
just threw
real
that
quick.
thing.
Yeah, I know, and I've said it since the beginning. Joe Judge is the one that coached that out of him. But I
Yeah.
saw your comment, amazing guy. But I disagree with it. Amazing guy was like he lost it during the 40-0 blowout beginning of the year. No, it had to be. If it took one 40-0 blowout to make you regress that much, you shouldn't be the franchise quarterback, first of all. But I don't think that's it. I think it's just been accumulation
It has
of
been.
things on top of things on top of things
Think
on top of
about
things on
think
top
about
of
all the
things.
things that he's seen, all the horrors that he's seen over the past couple of years of Giants fans just beating him down about the mistakes that he's made in the past. You don't think that eats away at somebody? They're looking at them. People think that they're not look. People think that the players aren't looking at what we're saying. They obviously are. Some of them are more vocal than others, right? Um, but he's definitely paying attention to what we've been saying. And I mean, we were right. His turnovers were a huge problem, but it's come to the point where he's scared to make even one turnover now. You know what I'm saying? Now that's good. That's healthy in a way, but when you sacrifice making a big play because you don't want to have a chance of throwing an interception, even though it's less than likely, that's a problem, man. That's a problem. And I was a big Daniel Jones supporter, for years now. But then going into the season, especially in the beginning of the season against the Seahawks, the Niners, constantly missing out opportunities because he's scared to throw the ball downfield when there are plays to be made. That's, like I said, that is not what I want in my franchise quarterback, man.
Yeah.
I wanted Daniel Jones back here. I did, not for the money, but I did want him back here, and I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. I
Mhm.
want another quarterback in here, and it's not Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, it's not Tommy
It's not
DeVito.
Tommy DeVito, guys.
Amazing guy. You got to step down from the DJ ledge because it's not him either. Nobody's forgetting what he did in 2022 and with the road playoff win.
I'm appreciative
That's
of what
just
he did,
gone.
man.
That's
Yeah,
gone, bro.
I'm
He's
appreciative of
mentally
what
not
he
there
did.
anymore.
I'm appreciative of what he did, but I'm loyal to to Big Blue. I'm loyal to the New York Giants, not a
Yeah,
specific player.
thank you. I'm a Giants fan. I'm not a Daniel Jones fan,
I'm
but I
looking
was
out
a
for the
Daniel
best
Jones supporter
interest.
for a very, very long time,
I'm
man.
looking out for the
People
best
people
interest
really
of
forget that,
my
KB.
team.
People really forget how big of a Daniel Jones supporter I was, and you were for a
Yeah.
long time, just because we're Giants fans and we say, you know what, this is not working out.
Bro, I put my integrity on the line. You guys saw how much rage I had when the Giants drafted Daniel Jones, and I literally just dropped everything and totally switched because I really believed in Daniel Jones before the season started, and I was behind him. So I'm not here being antagonistic or anything like that, guy. I'm just telling you how I see it. I'm calling it how I see it. And I feel like that the Daniel Jones's time here with the New York Giants has expired. I appreciate what he has tried to do for us. I appreciate what he did for us in that 2022 season because listen, a big part of that success was him. It was him. And I wouldn't say that he was the only quarterback that could have taken us there, but he was a big part of what we did last season. And that's why I wanted him back. But he shell
I
shocked,
only yeah.
and that's it for him.
I took off the overlay, but I'm gonna pop it back on for just one more question. And I guess we're gonna end it a little bit shorter than usual, but I feel like we covered everything, even though we were gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh, one more thing is just faith of Saquon Barkley moving forward.
You talking about like moving forward in next years or like
Yeah,
the rest of the season?
not the rest of the season, like next
For
year's.
like the future. I want him back. I do want him back. Are they gonna bring him back? I don't know. He just has to stop getting hurt, man. Like even when
Mhm.
it even hurts him when he gets hurt and comes back into a game. Like I, I know he's at the running back position. I know they get beat up, but like he has to stop getting hurt. I want him back. Saquon's one of my favorite players, one of my favorite Giants of all time already. You know what I mean? I want him
Yeah,
back, but it's just like I don't know
Saquon
how like
Barkley is the
that
reason I
is.
started this channel. You guys know that he's
And
my favorite player on the
let me
team.
tell you what is just to give a shred of light for everybody, or ounce of hope. Look what he does in these games to like get us to win. Now he almost sold that game 2 days ago, but he was like he closed it. He pretty much closed it with those two big runs. He's had a lot of that this season. You know that wasn't a thing that he usually does. He's not really like a fourth quarter home run like Derrick Henry type guy. He's been doing that a lot this season, where he's been like kind of eating away at chunk yardage in the first half, and then in the fourth quarter just completely breaking out for like 5 crazy runs in every game. So he's been a closer for us, man. He's been a guy to kind of get us over the hump to in a lot of these games. So in all of the games, he's a big part of it. So
Yeah,
that
no, to
helps
add
him.
on to you,
That
I
helps him.
want him back. I don't
Yeah.
know if he's gonna be back. And at the same time, even though he's not the guy he was when he was a rookie, he's still really good, still one of the best running backs in the game. It's still a question of, oh man, how do they really replace him? Because we don't have anybody on the roster right now that can replace him. Maybe they find somebody in the draft. We'll see.
Mhm.
Interesting question here, KB, because I feel like you're definitely a bit more uh just knowledgeable when it comes to answering this. Rate offensive lineman Justin Pugh's performance since he came here, and do you think we should resign him?
Um, my rating will be based on what he's asked to do in such little time and how he's been doing it, not how he is as an overall player. I'd say a solid B. I'd say a solid B. Being by what straight off the couch, was at guard. In his first game, had to be moved to left tackle, play left tackle for a couple games, gets put back to guard, and has not been a liability. Is part of an offensive line that has not allowed a sack for the first time this season, and he's a big part of that. I saw him doing very well in the run game, opening things up late for Saquon in the game. I would say a solid B, man. He's come here to really do his job. And I saw the interview, but shout out to Talking Giants, man. Shout out to Bobby Skinner and Justin Pennick, friends of the show, awesome people. They interviewed Justin Pugh, and he gave a inside scoop on the show saying that he's playing for the Giants or he's playing for no team. If he doesn't get a contract again with the Giants, he's retiring. He doesn't want to play anymore. He only wants to play with the Giants.
Hey
And
man, I
yeah.
get it. We were the team that drafted him. We were his first
Mhm.
team.
He has so much
It's not like
respect. He has
it's
so
not like
much
we traded
respect.
him or anything. It's just that we didn't give him the second contract. He went elsewhere, and
He
then he
even
came back
said
here.
he even said his goal is not even to be like the player, like not even to like play to save the team. He just wants to he wants to help the team. He said this, and like I'm trying to quote it the best way I can. He wants to repay the team for everything they've done for him. So he wants to mentor the young guys. He wants to be there to like bring them up if they need it. Like he is a stand-up guy. He's done to help. He's here to help the team morale, and he did that. The locker room, there was a big change automatically. The press conference that he came in here with was so refreshing because it was so dysfunctional in there, and everything that he was saying was great. Yeah, his podcast is great. Man, solid B for him, man. So he's really been out there and just exceeding expectations. We brought in a lot of offensive linemen here, a lot during the season, and none of them have been good. He's been exceptional.
Yeah. I have nothing really else to add on. Justin Pugh, when he was with us here for the first stint, was one of my favorite players on the team
Love Justin Pugh.
because a lot of people, I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but there was a story that came out about him. This is while he was on his first contract, that rookie contract, that he had an elderly neighbor. And I think this elderly neighbor didn't really have anybody, in terms of family or whatnot. And they didn't even really know too much about football, unless I'm mistaken. But Justin Pugh, because they were elderly, like he hung out with that person and spent time with them,
That's
made
dope,
them
man.
feel
He's a
not
good
so lonely.
guy.
Like he
He's a
was he was
really
just
good
being a
guy.
really good guy and a really good neighbor to this elderly guy. And that made him one of my favorite players. And I remembered after he signed elsewhere with the second contract, I was like, damn, I wonder what happens to that neighbor now, bro. Like, who does he have to chill out with and who does he have to talk to?
He moved him out to
You know?
Arizona with him.
Yeah, bro. But
Yeah, Justin
I
Pugh's an
love Justin
awesome
Pugh for
guy,
sure, man.
man. Awesome guy, man. He was like our poor man's David Deal, bro. He played all over the line for us when he was drafted, man. He started at
Hmm.
he was drafted. He was a tackle in college. Played right tackle for us. Moved into guard, multiple guard spots. I think both the guard spots, and then he comes back here and starts playing left tackle. Like it's crazy.
He's been all over the line, man.
Yeah.
Guys, we're ending earlier than usual, but I really can't think of anything else to discuss. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. I know these streams are coming far in between now, so we appreciate y'all for popping in when you can. Shout out to Marjorie, Eric, Vibes, Book, and Sarkon Allen. Amazing guy. Let me scroll up as I'm seeing here. I know Ligma was in here. I know Marjorie was in here. I know Duran was in here. Asia, Tudo, and everybody else. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we are gonna be out.